Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Cancer for the period of September 15th through to October 15th, 2020. So for those that are returning to my channel, thank you again for your subscriptions. And for those that are new to my channel, welcome. So again, for those that are new, I'll just give you a rundown how I do the readings. I do pull general energies. I read that first, and then the more specific energies for career and finance are toward the end. I will give you a little synopsis from the onset, and then I will I pull out a few cards as well, just as far as best advice. So what I will start with is the energies that were coming through for, again, September 15th through to October 15th, 2020 were related around definitely some new beginnings, some changes. I did feel that there were some new relationships coming through for some of you. Again, because these are general readings, it is going to speak to people on a grander level, on more of a global basis, and that also speaks to variations in age, as well as everybody has a different motivation. So some of the energies will carry over into other months. Everybody's not as motivated or able to make those decisions right away because of maybe other obstacles or things or challenges in their life that also take precedence. So again, just a general reading. I don't do specifics on relationship aspects, only because I do feel that they do require a lot more time and attention than I'm able to give for this reading, because I do focus on, again, more general energies and career finance. So there are always some overlaps with the relationships, so I will touch on that. But again, I won't do any real in-depth aspects in regard to that. So in general, the energies coming through for finances is that I did feel there was going to be some new career opportunities. I do feel there's a lot of enlightenment that's coming through, sort of epiphanies or aha moments that are still kind of surfacing for you. I do feel that you are going to be able to get some recognition, but you are going to have some obstacles along the way through the period, as they say, because there were quite a few cards of strength, overwhelmed, feeling burdened, but you do have the energy and the momentum to get through those hurdles. You do have the wisdom and the insight to get past that, because there was a lot of intuitive guidance that was coming through. You do have angel protection, and again, whatever spirit is for you, whether it's God, angels, but again, I do feel it's more of a personal choice on that as well. You also had some indicators that there were people that have passed on that were coming through protecting you as well. There is some imbalance as far as the general energies. I feel that you're trying to ground yourself. I feel that there's a lot of, as I say, emotion that you're struggling with to rein in. But you are going to go through a period where you do pull back, and it could again be, a little bit of I don't want to say deep depression or anything like that, but I did feel that there was some introspection. So it's really along the lines of, you feeling that you need to regain some balance by going deeper into a place of perhaps painful memories, to be able to, find a happier outcome, because there is a happier outcome coming, and there is definitely some in terms of finance as well, there's definitely some positives coming through as far as opportunities to collaborate and work with other people, and new jobs opportunities again coming through, whether it's your choice whether to take it or not, but there's certainly some opportunity that's coming through there, and definitely some happiness that is around that. So I suspect that many of you will take on that option. Again, there was some indicators of education for some of you, and that either you're the teacher or that you will be going back to school, and there is some degree of education that will be challenged in that period, September to October. There is also, as I said, some other indicators that heated emotions. You've got some worry and fear and anxiety, but there's also some level of deception going on. I don't know if that's deception on your behalf or if it's around you. But there is definitely something that's coming through that I feel is more on the financial front. There's something to do with deception around money. But again, you still have a lot of cards coming through, strong cards as far as the Chariot, and strength cards indicating that you will be able to overcome these. So I don't feel like it's going to impact you other than maybe surprise you to some extent, but I still feel that you're going to be able to have some forward momentum. There's definitely cards that speak to you, again, moving forward and expanding on some level throughout the period of autumn to spring. And I feel that this is related to career front. But again, there is some aha moments that are coming through that will bring a lot of happiness and regrounding. But again, you're still having to put forward the effort to ground yourself and make some changes. Okay, so I'll get right into the cards. So I'll start with the cards that are off on the other side here. This is actually more for the career and money aspects. So the cards that came through initially were Wisdom and Justice and New Beginnings. So these cards were actually, I'll just quickly mention each of the decks as I go through as well. So this is actually the Magical Spell cards, and that's by Lucy Cavendish. So again, with New Beginnings, there's quite a few cards that speak to that as well. So with New Beginnings, it's let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. So, really this is also about kind of getting rid of clutter and things that might be, that you find, you've been wanting to get to, but you've been putting off. So it's really about doing a clean sweep of things so that you can open up to these new beginnings. So it is a fresh start. You're recalibrating. It's, you're just getting ready for opportunities that are coming forward. The next card is Wisdom. So Wisdom is, on a Wednesday with a waxing moon, let wisdom come and be renewed. So again, with Wisdom, I feel that you have the wisdom to be able to overcome whatever obstacles are going to be coming through for the period of September 15th through to October 15th, because as I say, there are going to be some challenges. But it's you basically with this card weighing out those options, action to inaction, trying to understand sort of the short-term and long-term consequences of any challenging situation. So, inaction is still an action. So just to be wary of doing nothing. It's important to, if you have run out of resources, it's important to continue to seek knowledge or insight, from spirit and from our practical world, using our logical mind to be able to, head off some of the tangible obstacles that are right there in the way, because we do live in the 3D world, so you do have to operate within some of those aspects as well. It's important to get insight from spirit, but you also have to use that insight with action to make it manifest into something practical that is usable, in your present condition. So Justice is also a card that maybe, I don't know, for some of you it may be a legal matter, but I feel for a good portion of you, this is actually more to do with you feeling that you're unfairly dealt with on some level. So, it's whether or not, choosing to restore fairness can be about putting up boundaries, can be about, maybe distancing yourself from things at this time, or people that aren't supportive in ways that you feel you need right now to be able to go forward. You need a little more momentum. But again, I did feel there was a lot of determination. There was a lot of energy that I feel that you can draw upon to overcome these challenges, even though I feel that you are having to deliberately draw upon that energy. There wasn't a lot of wands in the reading indicating that it's just sort of natural energy that's coming through, so I do feel you're having to go inward to pull it out of yourself to make something change here. But again, I feel this is a card where you feel like you're not being dealt with fairly, but again, justice is still about karmic balance, and that the world is the universe will be able to balance that out, because in the grand scheme of things, any karmic justice that does come through, it's really about changing and educating others, and you may not be the person that's able to do that. It may have to come through another obstacle of their doing that brings about an understanding of how they dealt with you. So just in general, just to, I don't want to say just worry about yourself, but really just control the things that are within your control. Okay, so the next card out would be, sorry, I'm going to clear the way with some of these here. So I'm actually using a new deck as well. This is, I will start giving some of a rundown of some of the decks that I'm using on a separate basis, but this one is actually really, really like it. It is the Akashic Tarot, and it's by Sharon Ann Klinger and Sandra Ann Taylor, and I do have other cards of Sandra Ann Taylor, but this is front to back. So this is actually, you've got the Three of Forces, the Bird's Nest, you've got Five of Scrolls, diversity, you've got Seven of Scrolls, and that's intricacies and industry, and you've also got the King of Forces, as well as four of forces, spring, autumn. So I'll start with the first one here. So I've got the Three of Forces. So again, I did feel that there was a lot of momentum, things that you're pulling out of yourself to make something else happen. But with the Bird's Nest, this is really a card of, sorry, just trying to bring it into focus here. This is really a card of talks about new employment or new business opportunities. It's things that are representing creativity, expansion, anything that you're putting your effort behind and you're actually able to generate some kind of potential out of it. So this is also a card that indicates that you might be renovating your home. I did also feel, and I should have mentioned this in the synopsis, that there was some of you that were going to be moving, because there was a lot of indication of travel and journeying and relocation or movements in that respect. So I don't know that it's specifically travel as in, country to country, but I did feel that there was a lot of thinking about travel anyway. And again, that could be just in terms of moving house and relocating, because there's also some indication of Four of Wands that's present, which kind of revolves around your foundation and your structures. But in terms of this card, again, I just feel that there is some kind of spiritual expansion that's also taking place for others of you, and you're starting to widen your network of friends, and that could be on the spiritual basis, people that are relating on the of your tribe, or those that have similar interests, but it's also a card of limitless expansion, and as I said, even on the creativity front or business front. Sorry. So again, really positive card, and definitely momentum coming through there with starting of the new projects, new beginnings, as I mentioned before. So we also have the Five of Scrolls. So this card is a card of diversity. So the Five of Scrolls really talks about looking out onto how you can broaden your business connections, how to broaden or expand your, creatively. It's about just that. It's about diversification. So it's a period of expansion that's coming through here. And again, some of you are, because there's a broad range of ages here, this may carry on through to further into October, maybe even a slight bit into November, something along that line, because this is, again, everybody's got a different aspect to deal with in their life. Not everybody can focus, solely on career. There's usually multiple factors that take the forefront when we're trying to manage our lives. So again, but the outcome of it would be expansion during this period, at least probably I would say in the next 2 to 3 months here. But there is some kind of expansion with this card. But it's about, developing a whole new you, really. It's about you trying to again, make use of skill set, and things that you've already gained some degree of, sorry, I'm trying not to say just skill level repeatedly, but where you've actually gained some kind of educated, or you've got a strong position in whatever it is you're doing. I don't feel like you're just, some of you are going back to learn, but it's more of a continuation of the learning, I feel. I don't feel this is, going out into a whole new territory or anything like that with you. But again, with intricacies in industry, this is about, focusing on, on the things that that you're trying to build, basically. So again, I don't feel that this is all new learning. I feel that you're really just continuing on with finding a way to put yourself out there. How do you connect? It's more of a long-term goal that's in mind with this card. So it's about what's important to you now. It's also talking about building things stone by stone. It's definitely that you have the structure, you have the foundation in place here. This is, just about you tending to that process and looking after the details and trying to redefine things so that you don't fall behind with some of the newer knowledge, the newer technology and things like that are out there. So you want to focus on, building in the tiniest ways here to be able to create this strong, extraordinary success that comes through with that card. So we also have the King of Forces. And again, this could speak to a person, could be speaking to your energy as well. But it is talking about power in nature, power, of the things around you that you can use that are at your disposal. These are resources, and that you're able to, tap into these natural elements and be aware of some of the things that that you will be able to put energy, take energy from and put energy into with your own projects. So again, this is support for a project. It's resources. It's, possibly finding a love interest as well. This is something that's kind of secondary to the card here. The energy, again, is general with these. But this is about being open to engage in those new industries, being open in receiving cooperation or insight or, other or receiving other advice, that kind of thing that might be coming through to help you to find your balance with your own projects so that you can move things forward. But it's also a card, again, as I said, about new industry, and also, so I don't feel, again, for the majority of you, that this is about new positioning. I feel that this is really about you broadening some of your current talents in new ways. So yeah, that is the King of Forces, as I said. And I mean, it could also speak to, like I said, something coming through with a new partnership, or some kind of, could be a partnership with somebody who's quite powerful, something along that line as well. But again, either way, it also speaks to new careers and things opening up to you. We've also got spring and autumn, which was the Four of Forces. So spring and autumn, again, that one is really a time frame which I felt was very relevant for the majority of your expanding progress and achievements. So I think you're going to be making some really strong hurdles during this period from autumn, starting right now because we are in September, and moving into spring. You're going to start to see that this is a really active time for you. Things are starting to bloom, and throughout that period you will see victories, you will see successes along the way. It's not just going to be you build it and then all of a sudden spring hits and something comes to fruition. This is a constant building. This is a long-term project for many of you. And it's a very creative project. I feel that a lot of you are investing yourself in, or maybe you're using it in creative ways. So either way, it's about putting more time and attention, into the work that you do now, because there are rewards that are coming following that. So this is about, you're continuing to plant your energy. And it's a reason for you to be optimistic, because it is going to give you a lot of happiness with each of these actions that you take. So again, it's not all just coming to fruition in spring. It's cumulative energy that's coming through there. Okay, so the next cards I will read will be I actually have another new deck. This is just sort of a mini deck, but again, I really like it. It is the Mystical Lenormand. This one is actually by Marie-Anne Lenormand, and it is pictures by Urban Trosh. So with this one, you actually have just sort of mini cards here. 28 is just basically representing you as the person coming through. And then we also have 13. We've got the snake, which is, sorry, the numbers are a little bit faint, 7. And then we've also got 36. Sorry, 36 coming through. So, okay, so again, we're starting with you, and that's just you. As I said, doesn't really speak to any specific characteristics with these cards, but it is you coming through in the reading, just representing that you are going to be, because it did speak to, sorry, just trying to pull out, because this is a new deck for me here. So I think we'll start with 36. So 36 is the cross. Okay, so 36 is the cross, and this card really is talking about, it's the card of destiny, but that you're going to be tested, and it's going to be a karmic test. So that's why I mentioned there was something on the deceit front, and I feel that it was in relation to money that is coming through. It could be something else, but I did feel money was the issue. And then we also have the number 13 card. So again, with 13, this is the card regarding a child. So whether it's your child or someone that's being childish around you, who has a really, maybe a naive disposition or immature or something along that line. But either way, it's talking about, it stands for some kind of a new beginning in regards to the child. But again, because it's sort of coupled with the other challenger, I just feel that there is some other issue that's going on there. The snake card indicates that this is the number 7, indicates betrayal or falseness. Could be from a friend, sister, or business partner, or somebody that is in your sphere here, but it's some kind of betrayal or a lie or something that is causing a detour here. Again, I feel there is something that is related to a child there, or somebody that's very immature, that is revolving around that energy of deceit. So again, child, deceit, maybe there's somebody that is just immature that's coming through that's, again, not playing fair. Okay, so on to the next cards are, sorry, just trying to organize myself here. The next cards, I think these were the spell casting cards here. Just, oh, sorry, one sec here. Losing track of things. Okay, pulling the cards, and I've got them kind of layered off to the side here, so things are causing some movement. All right, so these are the spell casting cards. And we've got clarity, we've also got travel, we've got trust, and we've got boundaries, and we've got new beginnings. So because clarity and trust and travel were together, and new beginnings, and again, I felt that there was, this is just the order that they came out. I feel that you are getting some clarity on a relationship, I feel, is what's happening there. But I do feel with travel, again, it feels more along the lines of you, again, not really traveling. I think for a good portion of you, you might be thinking of travel or travel for a job, something along that line, but it just feels as though there is some aspect that relates to a move as well. But again, I feel with the trust issues, you're putting up some boundaries, and so you're going to be fine. This is just about you trying to figure out a way to navigate through some of the deception or lies that you're going to be faced with, which I think is going to be a bit of a surprise for you. for that period. But again, with clarity, there's an explanation that, there's a way to resolve all of this, because there was a lot of cards that indicated you had a solution. It might be that somebody has misunderstood you here, and just to be careful with your words, in the way that you deal with things or with this person. We also, as I mentioned, had the card of travel, which again, I feel was not so much travel with, COVID might be, you might be able to go locally and camping or something along that line. But for those of you that aren't able to get out on that basis, I feel that it could be just an inward journey, where you're actually revealing some answers. But here it's a card of being protected as well. But that travel might bring, travel inward, actual travel, change of scenery, something that breaks you from, I feel that there was also a sense of monotony that was coming through for a lot of you too. But yet you're wanting to change something anyway. You're wanting to change something. And I think this is why the idea of travel is so prevalent in your reading here. Because again, there's the World card and many other things that were coming through. Again, with the Trust card, I feel that, you still have a lot of, I still feel some of you could actually have more along the lines of trust issues, and you might not be so quick to share. And I think when you're working on projects, it's not a good idea to share things until you're ready to, until you're really ready to, I don't want to say put everything out there for somebody to judge and then to pick apart, but I will say you might reveal aspects of the project so that you're able to keep it moving forward and create that momentum. But this is really still a card about being careful who you trust your ideas with. And again, because there was some indicator of deceit there, I think that's even more prevalent. You also, again, had the card of boundaries. So again, that's just about creating boundaries around what you reveal. You're not really under any obligation to reveal things about yourself that would disempower you or put you at too high a risk for, having your time eroded with other people's demands, that kind of thing. So this is also a card about ensuring that you get that respect from creating boundaries around what information you do reveal. Because if you're specific about what you reveal, there's not really a lot of opportunity for other people to show any bias. And again, I think that's just pretty straightforward on that one. Okay. So we also have new beginnings, and again, I feel that one's pretty straightforward. This is about you starting to live in the present. You've got things that are starting to heal here, and that you also have a greater outcome, that is going to give you a lot of happiness. There is a lot of success that's going to be coming through here, but again, it's a long-term project. So this is about you continuing to reinvent yourself with those cards. So the next cards out are the Quantum Oracles, and this is by Sandra Ann Taylor. So the cards that came out with that one are Fear, Teacher, the Loving Woman, Deception again, and again with Fear, this is really talking about a lot of worries coming through here. So, I do feel that you're able to break away and because you've got lots of cards of the Chariot coming through and Strength. So you do have the power to get through it. You do have, you can draw upon an inward strength to overcome these obstacles. But I think that you're feeling that there's a lot of problems in your head that are weighing you down. I feel that it's just a self-imposed worry here. I feel that you are restricting yourself with negative patterns and negative thinking. So just something to be a reminder here. Trust in the energy, not the fear. So trust in the energy to overcome. Don't trust in the fear. The fear is a situation that you're choosing to believe in to give it life. So moving on to teacher. I believe some of you are actually headed back to school. There is going to be some learning or continued learning that comes out of this. And some of you are actually teachers or in the process of trying to expand on that level. But either way, it can be a guide that's coming through to help you, along your journey here with regards to a business or expanding some project that you're working on, but it's also about just being open to that as well. So that can also be spiritual guidance that's coming through to teach you along the way. But I feel for the majority, it's actual education that's you're being directed toward. The loving woman is about a tender-hearted feminine energy. So this is somebody who has a caring nature. This is somebody that can be in your sphere that is helping you to, or maybe not so much helping you, but somebody who is just a part of your world that is valuable in your life here. So this is somebody that may be helping you indirectly, but it is somebody that's valuable in your world here. So just a really compassionate person that you feel is a strength in your life, or adds to. Okay, so the next cards out would be the I'm going to read the Babylonian cards. This is actually, the Babylonian cards is Sandra, Tabitha, Cicero. So we've got, this is the cards here. We've got 10 of Wands, oppression. So I feel lots of burden. We've got judgment coming through as well. And we've also got the Magician and 9 of Arrows, cruelty, 3 of Discs, trouble, Prince of Discs. So for sure, we'll just start with this one here. Oh, actually, I forgot to read one last card here. Sorry, that was from the Quantum Oracle deck, and that was also the card of deception. So with that one is, I think that one's pretty straightforward. Sorry, I'm going to pull it forward here. I think that one's pretty straightforward. I just forgot to mention you had, again, deceit, deception, it's all coming through there on a few different fronts, so I think that's pretty straightforward. I feel it's to do with money, and for sure, perhaps a person in your world that maybe owes you money, but there's some kind of betrayal, or even manipulation, actually, with this card here too. So it could be somebody that's close to you or that's working against you. And again, don't know if this is a friend or what exactly, but it came through even with the career money cards as well. So there's definitely something noteworthy there. Okay, so, but again, you're attracting support from other people. So I still feel that this isn't really a strong issue. I feel you're getting a resolution. You know how to deal with it. Okay, so back to the Babylonian Tarot. With the 10 of Wands, okay, actually, yeah, so what we'll start with is the 10 of Wands is about, again, just overburden. So it's really a card of oppression or feeling like you've got too many responsibilities, you're having too many battles, you're overextended, and your resources may feel like they're a little bit too stretched here. So again, with the Judgment card, you've had that more than once. The Judgment normally, there's some kind of a decision that's coming up here with the Judgment card. So I feel that you've had the Magician card in there as well. So I almost feel like you have the ability to, you're making the decision and you have the ability to manifest some kind of new start or new beginning, or, you're able to make a final decision about something. But either way, with this card, it's really talking about a resolution of some sort. There's some kind of announcement or some kind of awareness. There's some kind of rebirth or awakening, even on a spiritual level, or a settlement of some sort, which again, justice could be coming through for some of you. So that would be just something to consider. And we also have, again, followed by the Magician. So the Magician is a card of manifestation. It's somebody who has the abilities, the skills, the resources, the intelligence, to create something. And it's just a matter of you acting on it. So you have all of those abilities and those resources at your disposal. It's just a matter of you pulling it all, tying it all together and acting on that experience. So it's organizing your thoughts, using your strength of will, using your mastery, your skill, your wisdom, your intelligence, putting everything together and in a determined way, and and methodically controlling your actions and your thoughts so that you're not displacing your energy in the environment, and just being diplomatic with the magician here as well. So again, with the Nine of Arrows, to be able to create what you're trying to manifest, and again, it's a long-term project, I feel, for many of you Cancers. We've got the Nine of Arrows. So the Nine of Arrows is really about, I feel that there's going to be, again, some difficulty here, a challenge that you're going to be facing that is causing you stress anyway, because mental cruelty, suffering, illness could be self-imposed, as I mentioned, or just feeling that overwhelm and paralyzed with all of the fear or the worry or the things that you've got on your plate to deal with right now. It could indicate some anger and depression, but you're just feeling a little bit stuck. With that card. We've got the Five of Discs here, and this one is also speaking to material problems, so some material difficulty, so financial difficulty. So there is something that you're having to maybe, reevaluate. Maybe this is where you're feeling you've got a loss in position of some sort, and there's a sense of chaos, or you're feeling impoverished in some way. But because it's followed by so many other cards of, hanging on to money, that kind of thing is still relevant for that period. But with the Prince of Discs and so many other cards, this is about energy that's slow, but it is productive energy. So the money will come, it's going to rely on your hard work. It's going to rely on your steady, reliable, conventional, traditional, practical, patient movement toward that money. So no incredibly emotional dramas for this period. Because it's important that you try to control that, because again, there's a lot of cards that came through on grounding. So I suspect that you are going to be upset by a lot of things, but you need to really rein it in, because you're manifesting, but it's just a little slow to come. So again, because it's more of a long-term project here, and things need to be lined up from the universe to be able to make you, have you reap those rewards. So we also have the Ten of Wands again here. Again, more oppression, cruelty, injustice, or manipulation. But there's some kind of, weight on you. And again, that one is a deck of the Illuminati Tarot, and that one's by Casey Duhamel. Illustrations by Bob Gray Venstein. And we also have the Novice of Coins. So again, there's more cards coming through that there's a lot relating to money here. So don't know whether or not this is related to, specifically any losses. I just feel that you're hungry for learning here. This is about you using new ideas. Good news still comes through with this card, and you're still planning for the career and your future with this in regards to education. I feel like you're still learning something. And again, it speaks to a child prodigy of some sort here. So again, for maybe some of you, this is a child that's coming through that has a level of intelligence, strong intelligence that may be of use to you, or may be benefiting you, or you're helping them to line things up. But either way, there's some kind of energy with a child that comes through with strong skills. Novice of Swords, and again, it could be your own energy too, just young at heart. With the Novice of Swords, this is really about being diplomatic and finding solutions. You are finding solutions with this card. You are able to, crisis management is what this card speaks to. So you're able to figure out and understand how to resolve something. You're using your imagination and creativity to be able to bring about some of your answers. And again, even though there's sort of a small residual of energy around legal matters, there is something that comes through regarding a lawyer on this one as well, or an investigator, or something that is involving a legal person. But again, it still feels very positive. So the next cards out are the fortune reading cards. These ones are judgment as well as fire. So this is letting go of emotional upheaval and embracing the renewal of the present. And again, I feel that this is related to you being quite angry about an issue. And then we also have judgment. Soul searching will bring about more peace, and too many areas will bring, judgment, soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. So again, I feel that you are going inward on a few levels here to resolve whatever this issue is of this betrayal. And I feel with this card, it has more to do with, things kind of coming to a head. There's some kind of new life that will come out of this raging fire, or this destructive energy, or this worry. And this can be even a worry over a child as well, or some kind of burning passion. But I feel, again, from many of you, this is about something that's upsetting your world on some front here. Because the card is also speaking to setting new goals and moving toward some kind of major life transformation. So again, maybe on the front of moving out of a job, or moving out of a home, or letting something go anyway. But you're preparing for some kind of enormous personal growth with this card. So with that, again, with the judgment energy as well, it's just you taking a hard look at your life and your current situation, and maybe reflecting on the past as well to a degree. But it's also about you're walking down memory lane so you can figure out, are you following the right path? You're trying to figure out, what is limiting you, and what are these doubts that you're having to face right now that are disrupting your inner peace. So this is really about you needing to gain the insight by going inward to find those answers so that you can get back on the right path. So again, I feel September to October, there's a lot of that, but there is some new possibilities that are still coming through. And again, that's internet, money-making ideas, something new is coming through. There are some opportunities throughout this period. Whether you choose to take it is up to you again, but there's options. There's options here for you. So your life is about to change. So if things were stagnant and you felt that you didn't have a lot of purpose, that is going to change. But again, you're still working on more of a long-term project here for a good portion of you. Okay. So, but for others of you, as I said, maybe you're just dealing more so with the emotional aspect that really threw you off. And maybe that'll carry through even further into October or November for some of you. It just depends on how everybody comes with different tools and resources at their disposal, and some recover a little faster than others. Okay, so the next cards out are Earth Magic, and these are Oracle cards, Stephen D. Farmer. So we've got Volatility, and we've got Tree Grounding, Wind Activation. So again, lots of emotional cards coming out here. So with the card of Volatility, there's something, again, that's going to upset your world here in this period, September to October. It's going to throw you a little bit off, but again, you will find a solution to it, because there are lots of cards of resolution, and you having the wisdom to overcome it. So again, there's something that's going to cause you tension. There's something that is going to disrupt the norm, and it's going to cause you to have an immediate emotional reaction with Volatility. But again, you have to try to distance yourself from the strong emotion. Take a walk, and before you go too far down into the rabbit hole with all the emotional negative thoughts, make sure that you're spreading out the thoughts so they don't have as much impact on you, so that you can find those resolutions. But again, it's some kind of unexpected change, something you will not have any control over, that is going to disrupt your foundation or your security in some way. But again, you will find a resolution for it. It's a storm of change that's necessary. So the next card out is a card of grounding. So this is the Tree, and this is about regaining your base again. So this is about, finding your roots. This is also about you feeling scattered. And so because you're feeling scattered and spaced out with, your thoughts, and you're just all over the map here, you're just feeling disconnected, this card is letting you know that you need to go inward. You need to take that time to breathe and go outdoors, whatever it is for you, drive, and just try to slow down your thoughts, spread out the stressful moments, because going too deep into the negative isn't where you're going to find the answers. It's spreading out the problem so that you can deal with it in bite sizes. With the wind card, this is really, I like something about the way this card is expressed. It's an activation card. So this one is really about, again, going in. There's going to be violent winds, that create temporary chaos, but no matter what the intensity of those winds is what the card says, it's activating you to feel more alive. So the wind is really there to help us to feel more alive. So there's no stagnancy, no lethargy. It's about you getting outdoors again. It's about you doing something different. It's about you changing your mindset and doing something that releases tension. So it's about you activating, some of your, activating your senses to be able to, think about the 5 senses and how you would activate each one of them to overcome some of these problems. So that is how it allows you to take action and to fully focus on a creative resolution. Okay, so the next card out will be the Energy Oracle cards. So this one, again, these ones are all about sort of finding balance as well with the yin yang. That's the card, the first card out here. So again, yin and yang is about that male-female energy. Sorry, pull the card forward here. It's about that male-female energy, and whether, I'm not saying that anybody needs to be specifically in their male or female energy, but I think it's about really just finding a way to be using the positive from both aspects. There's active energies, and then there's also a time for energies to be a little more stasis, right? So this is about using that energetic cycle of energy, and using that from your experience and finding ways to be receptive and intuitive and to be able to take action. So again, this is about being more than acting. So you want to be able to go within so that you can move into the present with an active with active potential. I guess I'm just probably not the best way to express that, but there's something else that's going on under the surface is what I'm trying to gain, or trying to reference there. The cornucopia, again, really positive card here. So this one is definitely about abundance. This is definitely about things coming through for you. Again, this is about wishes fulfilled. So there is going to be something that comes through from September to October that is going to allow you to feel like you have received some kind of gift, some kind of financial riches, or again, I didn't feel that there was a lot of pentacles in this reading. There's more along the lines of happy moments. So I don't know that it's a lot about money's coming through from September to October, but it is more about kind of hanging on to those pentacles or that money, but definitely lots of happy moments, things that are going to bring you fulfillment from September to October. And again, that also speaks to job fulfillment. That can speak to your romantic life. It can also be about some smaller projects that are paying off or about to pay off. But it is about positive energy here, either way. So you are getting some kind of wish fulfillment that's coming through. And again, I feel it's more on an emotional front, not so much on the financial front here. Sorry, I have a cat that's trying to pull the cords away from... okay, there we go. So the next card out, again, is deceit. So for sure, that's come through multiple times here. So we know that there is something going on that front. I mean, maybe some of you are fooling yourself about something, but I feel that this is more of an external rather than an internal. And again, this card speaks to hidden tactics and manipulation. So it's a warning card, basically. And there is somebody that is operating behind the scenes that isn't working in your best interest. And I feel that it is more of some kind of personal issue, and maybe it's about rumors or something being spread about you, but it's some kind of disrespectful situation here. It could be in regards to a business matter for others. As I mentioned, I felt there was some indicator of money manipulation of some sort going on here, something that's hidden. And so just to watch your money during this time. Again, this deception could be something to do around, self-esteem. I would say not so much about happiness, because there's so many cards of happiness that I don't think it's really based around that. It feels like it's around your money, though, for many of you. Okay, so the next, and I did try to clarify with that one. And again, I mean, the cards that came out was, again, beginning and end of a cycle of some sort. You were having to retreat, and for sure there was some kind of, it felt like sharp tongues or something being said anyway that was related to that deception that came out. So we also have the card of journey. And again, with, there was a world card that came out there too, but with the journey card, again, relocation, maybe moving from your home, movement, travel, something along that line, or maybe you're just considering travel, or there's travel for work. But either way, there's some kind of, again, I still feel there's relocation for a lot of you, but it still speaks to reminding yourself life is about that journey, and always look for inspiring adventures ahead. Nothing is, life is not a stagnant energy. Life is always about keeping movement. So the universe won't let you be stagnant for too long. We also have the thinking man. So this is about a male of wisdom or understanding. So again, whether this is you starting to understand how things are, coming through, or there is some kind of information that's about to arrive soon. But either way, you're educating yourself here, and you're starting to work through the finer details, and you're able to choose a direction here. So again, this could be related to spiritual, mental, or emotional pursuits, but again, it also speaks to professional, personal growth, all things along that line. For those that are looking for love, this would also speak to a love interest coming in as well. But just to be on the lookout for something that's coming in the physical world, and learn what you can, and be disciplined with your course of study, and that again is a big part of this card, and use your techniques, your skills, practice it, because it is going to be something that will change your life. And in fact, the card expresses it as changing your life forever, so it's pretty significant. We also have the next card out is walking away. So this is, again, I feel like you're walking away from some difficulties here, or maybe putting up some boundaries. You're moving on from something anyway that it's in your current situation. This is about going into the unknown. It doesn't really speak to anything on a basis of failure. It's more about just a choice. So this is, again, it could be a career goal or a relationship goal or a long-term goal that's moving ahead here for you, but it's a new beginning of some sort. And it's a good time just to let go of old habits or false beliefs or negative patterns, just to release those kinds of energies and just to move forward. Because you have so many cards of new beginnings that clearly there is supposed to be something that that you need to address there anyway. Okay, so the next card out would be, but just before we get into the financial aspect here, there's just two more other groupings here. So this is actually the Knight of Michael. So this is about being strong, committed, intellectual, and diligent. So it's time to move quickly, choose logic over emotion. There's sudden changes that are coming. And again, other cards spoke to the same for you. Four of Raphael, seek out other possibilities, look for the magic in life, and be aware of your own emotions. So again, did feel that you were feeling a little out of control on the, again, there's a four, you trying to regain some balance, but it is it's related around your structures, your foundation, or your family life, that there is some kind of upset, something that's that's going to make you quite emotional. With the Three of Ariel, do what you love, a time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, and working with others in a cooperative manner. So again, I did feel you were finding solutions. I did feel that there was going to be cooperation on the material front, so that your money would improve, and that'll help to move things ahead in a faster way for you. We also have the Chariot, which is determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. Again, that's the strength, the determination to overcome things, whatever obstacles are in your way, which I did feel you are going to be facing at some point here. So moving into the last aspect, again, this is the career, finance, money. So the cards started out with the Eight of Swords, and that was clarified with the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is definitely, well, swords in themselves are definitely about conflicts and areas where, you need to address some of your attention. The Three is, again, because this is financial, there's some kind of conflict, and maybe it's related to, a business partnership or somebody in your sphere that's upsetting your financial balance. Maybe that was related to the structure and the move and all of those things. But again, the Three of Pentacles is really about, just really about some kind of upset overall. So I'll start with, before I get into that, I'm just going to start with the Eight of Swords. So this deck is very, very pretty. Love this deck as well. So this one is it's the Illuminati Tarot, and it's by Kim Huggins, Eric C. Dunn. So again, with the Eight of Swords here, I mean, we are talking about some kind of conflict or some kind of difficulty that you're facing, that you're walking away from. But again, that's just sometimes, because this reading is from September 15th on, I just feel that this is probably where you're at right now, is you're in some kind of upset or feeling like you've got kind of a prisoner of your own thoughts right now, where you feel like you're just being trapped or overwhelmed, or, you're oppressed in some way. I don't feel that you feel free enough to act, and, you're probably going through a lot of old patterns, negative thinking, where you're feeling, powerless, and you just don't feel like you're able to make any decisions right now anyway. Again, with the Three of Swords, I mean, this is really that card of you suffering. This is really about you feeling sad, you feeling some kind of pain, grief, suffering. You might still be in a period of healing here as well, but there's some kind of aching heart or some kind of truth that hurts here. There's a conflict around that. So following that, we have the Prince of Swords. And again, I mean, with the swords, I mean, it's really lots of things going on in your mind right now. I think that you're really very strongly in your mental state and trying to deal with something. So again, we've got the Prince of Swords, which is you trying to create a strategy or a plan of action. This is you trying to be strategic or try to regain your control, and you might be dealing with a lawyer or a judge or something on that front with this as well, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who's cold and harsh, but you are trying to solve a puzzle here and to try to gain some clear insight to overcome confusion. It is clarified with the Temperance card. So again, Temperance is also about an angel, that's looking over you and trying to protect you and to guide you through this. Temperance is a card of being patient as well. So if you're trying to force a resolution at the beginning of September, I don't feel that's where you're getting that resolution. I feel that you just need to be patient to be able to find a result here. Again, you've got Judgment cards and those things coming through, so you just have to wait it out, basically, with the Temperance card. So we also have the Star card, which is up next here. And the Star card is definitely a positive card, and it's also about a card of recognition. So, with the Star card, again, this is still probably, I would say, definitely in the beginning week here, September 15th of September onward. I I feel that, following that temperance card of moderation, you know, where you're avoiding excesses and you're trying to be strategic and you're trying to find a middle way to, to resolve something in your mind here. But again, with the star card, this is really about letting you know you're moving into a place where you are able to come up with that solution. So there's a turning point here. This is a healing card. This is a renewal. This is about rejuvenation. It's also about, on the financial front, it speaks to fame and fortune, but it's also about guiding you through suffering. It's also a lucky time. So you're finding your way. There's light coming through during this dark period. And again, I feel that a lot of it's related to your finances, because it is clarified by the devil, which again relates around excesses and feeling like there's a loss, a lot of negative energy. But with the Queen of Pentacles, again, that's also speaking to money, could be a nurturing, it could be regarding healing around this energy. Maybe it's a partnership as well between somebody who's quite a caring person, with the Queen of Pentacles, somebody who's usually pretty good with money, who's really quite a stable energy. And then the devil energy, again, Cancer is related to that devil energy as well. So it could also speak to there just being a resolve between those two energies as people as well. But either way, you also have, in terms of money, again, with the Strength card coming through, you have the energy, you've got the wisdom, you also have the ability to be moderate and work through this dark night of the soul, because it's also followed by the Hangman. So I feel this is where you are in your head right now. This is a really dark place right now, from September 15th, or at least you're navigating through some dark places. But this is about kind of the beast within. It's also about strong passion. So something that you might be really passionate about, that is clarified with the Queen of Cups. So again, that's, kind of as a person, it would represent somebody who's calm and in control of themselves and this kind of thing. But I feel for many of you, this is more about the Cancer energy that's having to rein in some of these strong emotions, and it might be related to your past as well, with the Six of Cups coming through. But again, the card of Strength is still you having the ability, to work through some of those beastly qualities within yourself, or with around somebody else, and try to balance out some of those heated intensities. Again, there were some cards here that spoke to difficulties with your foundation or your structure. So I did feel with the Hanged Man, this is a card oftentimes that revolves around the dark night of the soul and working to find ways to let go, change your perspective, surrender to look at things from a different angle. It's also about, you suffering, feeling like you're suffering or allowing yourself to suffer in some way, and you need to find a way to get past this dark place. And again, I feel it is, because it's clarified with the Four of Wands, that it is related around your structure, your anchor, something that you feel gives you a foundation is being challenged here. So we also have the Four of Pentacles, and again, in terms of your money, I feel like you're really needing to hang on to things right now, but it's still not a bad time. You still are able to, you're still finding a way to manage it. With the Four of Pentacles, this is about you, just counting your blessings. Just remember, that you do have some things that are worthwhile, that are still in your favor. This is about you still having resources, still having power, and you still have the ability to hang on to things. You are finding ways to, further build your resources, because again, that was clarified with the Sun card. So that's a card of optimism. That's a card of being happy, positive. Things are moving forward. There's light at the end of that tunnel. You definitely have, an awakening here. So, I mean, there's definitely, this is moving toward the end of the October 15th period, so maybe not quite to October 15th, but probably just prior to that, that there is you're still hanging on to money. You're still being a little miserly because you need to be. But again, there's still hope at that time frame, at that juncture that you can rely on. Nothing is not out of your control yet. So again, it is illuminating truths as well with that card. It's really, but again, it's optimism. It's an awakening card. It's a reason for you to, celebrate. There is some good fortune or something that is going to return you to a happier time here. It's a realization that you're moving in the right direction. And I say that because it is followed by the Ten of Cups. So we're almost to the end here. So the Ten of Cups is about, happiness. Definitely you're feeling fulfillment. It's on an emotional front here. It's not speaking to necessarily finances, being, coming through in October, but you're still in control of your finances. There's still enough money for you to deal with that will get you through. So it is a happy time. It's about an emotional contentment, some kind of peace. It's some kind of understanding about where you're going now. And even in terms of relationships, this is all positive for you. I feel that with the Two of Swords, that there might have been some kind of a decision that needed to be made, or maybe you were trying to make a decision here, and clearly you've made a decision that's making you happy, but there's definitely some sort of stagnation that's being broken here. There's not, there's no further obstacle in the way, because with the Two of Swords, this is about that crossroads or two options, and you were weighing out those options, and this is about you making some kind of change here or some kind of choice that's been made again. So you're finding a balance. So you also have the Ace of Cups. So again, Ace of Cups, definitely really positive on the emotional front here for you. Aces are always about the beginning of something. So this is still in the starter stage for you. It's not something that is, it's not something that has, so maybe it's something that's still, in the, how do I put that? Like even in terms of love, this is about you receiving and finding joy. You also needing to be receptive to embrace those positive things coming in. It's also about, you finding compassion for yourself and for another. And you're just feeling more at peace and in love here toward the end of October. Well, I should say October 15th is what this reading goes to. So again, in that last week up until October 15th, you're just feeling a lot more blissful. You're much more ecstatic. You've got a lot more connections here because of this Three of Pentacles that's coming through here. There's a reason for you to rejoice because there is, you're getting help. You're getting help with something here with the Three of Pentacles. This is a card of using your skills and your talents, and you've got some great results that are coming through from work or crafts or hobbies, anything that you invested in. Whatever projects that you've started here, your hard work and the direction that you've applied yourself in is starting to enable your creativity and enable you to bring about some happy changes. So again, not so much on the financial front, but definitely speaks to a lot of happiness. Again, you've got the Sun card twice, so definitely positive and happy. And I feel that there's a period of enlightenment because we also have the Hermit coming through. So you've stepped into that place of, partnering with Spirit to gain some insight, to overcome some of this darkness where you were feeling alone. You're being shown the way here, and you definitely feel like you've got some kind of spiritual truth that's helping you to shine some answers toward that last week of October. We also have the Seven of Pentacles that's coming through, so you're still working on some projects here, but again, this is success. It's a card of success that's coming through in terms of money. So toward that middle of October, there may be some money that's coming through for you. Definitely it's, I would say a substantial amount with the Seven of Pentacles, but for sure it's about just being patient, or just be patient. It is still coming because it's a slow progress card. It's about still continuing on with your hard work here, but it's just at a slower pace. Something is still about to come to fruition here. So you're playing a bit of that waiting game, but again, it's still something that's going to bring a lot of happiness to you here with the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups again speaks to could speak to a person, but definitely somebody who has a strong, composed, emotional, romantic, quality about them. But definitely a lot of happiness at the end here. So final cards out are the Two of Cups. So again, with the Two of Cups, I mean, this again speaks to trying to find that balance. It is also speaking to, things on a relationship front as well. So there is definitely some form of meeting of the minds, some kind of resolution, some kind of agreement that's coming through here. Maybe there was some kind of difficulty that was that arose with the Queen of Cups here, because again, with the Queen of Cups, this is also about somebody this could be also relating to psychic ability and you feeling more psychic and becoming more visionary and reflecting on some things that are emotionally that are helping you to discover your answers. But it could also be related to a person. And again, if it is related to a person, that has some mystery and depth, with the Two of Cups, you're finding some camaraderie here. I feel that there is a sense of, there's a sense of union or sharing in that love or healing of emotions. And you could be just reflecting those emotions in one another. It could be a mirror image here that's happening. It could be something that, either way you're feeling. I think that there's a lot of, might be a little bit of illusion or fantasy that's sort of revolving around that too with the Seven of Cups, or there are a lot of choices. But I feel for the majority of you, it's not so much about the choices. I think it's more about, having a dreamy sense of, where things could go, and maybe not seeing everything as it appears, but having a really romantic idealized notion of that that coupleship or that partnership, or something that again could relate to your financial front as well, because maybe there is somebody who's in your world, that a partnership that is dealing with your money, but or businesses. But either way, the final cards out are the King of Cups. So there's definitely some sense of absolute emotional fulfillment, where you're definitely feeling like you're back in power, or that you've got some kind of, power over your emotions. You're feeling like there's a lot more clarity here, because you've got emotional balance again, is what's happening there at the end. So again, King of Cups is about, healing those emotional wounds, because they are clarified with the Four of Cups, which is again about healing and retreat and pulling back, feeling like there's a loss, like there's something that's missing, guilt, excessive worry, anything like that. And again, you've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So I feel that a lot of the things that you were worrying about with the Four of Cups related around, money and emotional issues. But there is definitely at the end of, and again, this is right up until October 15th, so not quite to the end of October, but through that period, there is a healing, emotional elements, and definitely there's compassion. This is a father figure. This is somebody who, is a really spiritual, caring person. A lot of depth. Could be a therapist involved here as well, but there's a loving, strong family values energy that comes through with this person. But overall, I feel that there is really positive healing emotion after a time of feeling wounded that's coming through. So again, last cards out are in regards to relationships. As I said, I don't really do relationship readings. I just pull some of the general energies of the card. You can listen to some of the other readers that might be able to fully engage on that for you. But you've got romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. You've also got attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And this could be the one you've already met the romantic partner that you seek and engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So it doesn't have to be as in engagement with ring and that kind of thing, but whatever that level of engagement or dedication is to you, for that relationship aspect. So again, still a lot of positive aspects here. I do feel, again, you're still dealing with some really heavy emotional elements, a lot of healing that's taking place. Again, a sense of a move. For sure there's conflict. Could be conflict again around a child of some sort as well, or that they are perhaps able to contribute to your life on some level that with their skill set. But again, I still feel that there's some kind of disengagement there with a child energy or immaturity that's coming through in the reading. So again, overall, very positive though. Again, outside of the move and that kind of thing, there's just a restructuring of some of your foundational core elements that you normally rely on. But I think you're finding a new level of freedom and lots of happiness that's coming through for the period of September 15th through to October 15th, 2020. So that was the last of it for you, Cancer, and we will talk to you toward the end of October.